Hi everybody and welcome back to another English grammar tutorial. We have a really cool thing for you today. It's the expression used to do, which you can use to express English past tense. And where exactly to put it and what exactly it means, we will explain to you in this short video tutorial. Let's start with the situation. 2 years ago, I played tennis a lot. I played tennis 4 times a week and I was a really good tennis player. Then I hurt my knee badly, had an operation and couldn't play anymore. And this is what you can say. I used to play tennis a lot 2 years ago, but now I don't play anymore. I used to play 4 times a week until my operation, and I used to play really well. In all of those sentences, used to is already fit in, and I will explain to you in detail now what used to actually means. This is your timeline and this is your now. And now is, in that situation, I don't play tennis anymore. At some point in the past, you had an operation because of your bad knee, and we go back even further into the past and say this here was 2 years ago. And when you say, I used to play tennis a lot, it goes in between those 2 points in the past. I used to play a lot of tennis. And this is your, well, rule, so to speak. We use used to do for a completed activity in the past. You cannot use it for the present tense. It must be in the past. In other words, in between that past operation that you have here and the now, I don't play tennis anymore, there's got to be some time. Used to is past tense. It has no connection to the present tense. So this is your first rule here. Be very careful with this. And we use it for an activity that we did regularly in the past. I used to play a lot of tennis, not only once or twice. No, it was a habit. I played 4 times a week. I used to play a lot. So it's used for a completed activity in the past tense. In other words, in between that operation here and the now, there's still got to be some time. And we need to do it regularly in the past. It is a habit. I used to play a lot of tennis is not just once or twice, but it's often. And, as you can also see here in that rule, we sometimes use it for something that was true in the past, but isn't true anymore. It was true in the past that I played a lot of tennis, but it isn't anymore because I had that operation and now I don't play anymore. All right. We use used to for a completed activity in the past, something we did regularly in the past, or something that was true in the past and isn't anymore in the present tense. Let's have a look at a couple of more examples here. I used to smoke 2 packs a day, but I stopped last year. I used to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day, but I stopped last year. In between that stopping last year and the now, there is still some time because it's a completed, finished activity. And the I used to smoke is a habit. I did it regularly. And understood, of course, now I don't smoke anymore because it was true in the past and it isn't true anymore in the present. I used to drive to work, but now I take the bike. I used to drive to work, but now I take the bike. It was true in the past that I drove to work and I did it a lot of times, okay, maybe every day of the week. But now it's not true anymore because now I take the bike. Completed activity in the past, something I did on a regular basis. When I was your age, I didn't used to go swimming. You can also use this in the negative form, of course, but then you would have to put in the no form with the didn't, because, as I told you, used to can only be used in the past tense. When I was your age, I didn't used to go swimming. So, in other words, now I do. It was true in the past, or in this case, it was not true in the past because I didn't used to go swimming. Now I do. Now I go swimming on a regular basis. But when I was your age, I didn't used to. And of course, it also works with a question. I see you don't smoke anymore. Didn't you used to? Didn't you smoke in the past? Wasn't it a habit of yours to smoke? And now you don't smoke anymore? So that habit is over. I see you don't smoke anymore. Didn't you used to? You can also use it in a question. And then, of course, you would also need the didn't because used to expresses past tense. Alright, so much for a couple of examples. And now there is one more thing that I want you to watch out for. Do not confuse I used to with I'm used to doing something. Have a look at that first sentence here. I used to travel a lot, but nowadays I don't anymore. So this is your normal habit. This is the video that we just had. I used to travel a lot. In the past, I traveled a lot. Every other weekend, for example, it was a habit. But now I don't travel anymore. And that second sentence here. I've lived in England for a while. So I'm used to driving on the left. The meaning here is different. The meaning here is it's normal for me to drive on the left. I've lived in England for a while, so I'm used to driving on the left. Okay? Don't make that mistake and don't confuse those two. The meaning is actually quite different. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so much for used to. Use it. It's a very important expression. Thanks for watching. We say have a good time and we see you around for the next video. Bye bye.